My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Elden Ring. We are here in Lanedel's Ashen capital, having defeated Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, as well as Hoaraloo in the last episode. There were a lot of kills in the last. Gideon off there, that one just went right by. Touch golden light. So this would be Marika, imprisoned within the Erd Tree. What is the blade through them? Red hair now. Hang on. So, Radagon? What does that mean? Has your body also changed? Radagon of Golden Order. Hello. Gonna crit him just a little bit. Is this gonna be like a multi-phase fight? Oh no, I'm kind of concerned I might just be ridiculously over-leveled for what is not a multi-phase fight. I mean, look, that's probably the case. I'm not gonna focus on it. I do want to see a little bit more of this fight, but also I do suspect it's going to be a situation of knock them down and then they're going to get back up and maybe it's going to be Marika at that point. But also it seemed like as they were gaining strength from the wielding of the armament, it almost looked like was kind of the origin point of that. That was the turning point. Oh boy, that's loud. Flip. Guard counter. Flip. That actually managed to knock him down despite hitting directly next to him. Chug chug. Flip flip. Timing on that is very specific. It doesn't actually do enough voice damage to prevent that. Radagon of the Golden Order. Down. So this is our Throne Watcher and Defender, right? This is the fight before the fight. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of terrain out here. Is this gonna be like the primordial essence? Like the thing that was buried by the Erd Tree in the Order? What? Dragon? I don't think it's a dragon. It wouldn't make sense. It's beautiful. Are you representative of the air tree itself? A structure of roots and significance and size and age? Look at us dwarfed in the bottom left corner. Elden Beast. Oh, well, holy damage negation seems like it'll be useful here, I'll say that. Running completely to one side was enough to get away from that. Oh, that's a lot of sparks being sent up in the air. They're going to start coming down. Oh, okay, so that's slashing an area that then gets nuked. Nice. In through the area. There's some quite very classic attacks, but I really like the underwater nature of some of the stuff they're doing there. Oh, they have a lot of control of the terrain and of movement themselves. You can see I'm holding off on fighting here because I really, really want to see what the design of this is. Yeah, this is a zoning and kind of, this is a dance. This fight is a dance. Some of the best games in Souls have been. Best fights in Souls games have been, rather. So we go in, we do what we can, and then we pay attention to how the enemy is starting to control the battlefield. We look for another opportunity. We position ourselves correctly. What the? What is this? I love attacks like that. They're huge, but they just demand a little bit of timing of you. They give you the ability to start repositioning. They look very epic. They're not actually deadly. I love attacks like that because they are the perfect interstitial between periods of, you know, the game really testing you. I do think it's worth noting how similar this fight is to a lot of dragons. Almost as if modeled to have the dragons teach you how you would then fight the Elden Beast. No shortage of intentional design here. Whoop. Yeah, with a late roll, and... Yep, I deserve that. I ran out of all of my resources earlier on. Oh, we're gonna have to do Marika! Radagon, again? I never know who to think of as the force itself, right? I mean, we should also probably change a couple of things here. Most commonly, what strikes me is holy. What's the enemy likely to be weak against? I don't know. Let's try Blood Flame. Oh, wait a second. This actually may have us fight both of them in the order again. In which case, I'm just going to be completely unrepentant with both of the fights. Absolutely all tilt the entire time. Okay, yeah. Go. Knock him down. Crit. Get him. No, 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 that was gonna work. No, I landed on it. Okay, fair enough. Trying to be entirely unrepentant. A little bit. Sure, it's a little bit greedy. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, a lot of bit greedy. For my mental safety here, what I'm going to do is tell myself internally, oh yes, no, it wouldn't have been it would have been great to have a 10-minute episode, so this is all content creation, you see. Whereas in reality, I would be totally fine with just having a 10-minute episode. Is like, well, I didn't know. Because there's not going to be another one after that, right? I can't imagine that. Get him. Okay, and then got all my buffs active. Let's get Bloodflame Blade out and go for it. Wait, did we actually break its poise? Oh my god, it has a crit spot. Which I missed. Got it. Alright, buddy. You're broken, you've got some distance. Oh, the way the water is glowing here is lovely. Hang on, I need to get away from this, right? It's making a ring on the ground. There we go. Jump over that, jump over that one. Got him. Oh, there's so many visual effects going on the screen. Come a bit closer. One more, please. Oh. Thought I could land it without having to recharge for another one. Get him! Oh, that is honestly the best angle we could have asked for final. God slain. Elden Remembrance. Summon Rani. Touch Fractured Marika. Let's Let's touch the grace. Fractured Marika is where we are. Do I want to summon Ronnie? Okay, I can leave, which is good because I would really like to look at the remembrance as well as whatever it could give us. Elden Remembrance. It was the vassal of the greater will and living incarnation of the concept of order. Marika's hammer actually comes from this. Stone hammer made in the lands of the Numen, outside the lands between. The tool with which Queen Marika shattered the Elden Ring, and Radagon attempted to repair it. The hammer partially broke upon shattering the ring, becoming splintered with rune fragments. Goldbreaker, Leap Up High, when suspended, its heroic signature attack, got it. And then Sacred Relic Sword. Sword wrought from the remains of a god who should have lived a life eternal. Thoughts on what the weapon portends are many and varied. Some consider it a mark of a great sin or a sign of great devastation. Some think it was the end of an age, while others, the beginning. And it has that wave of gold attack. Doesn't look like anything additional is sold after having killed a god, though. This is going to be one of those games that I end up having to do a huge amount of reading about. Which, to be clear, I am very much looking forward to. So what are my choices here? There's Summon Rani. There's Touch Fractured Marika. Which I actually don't know what ending this would be. Summon Rani is obviously going to be Rani's ending. I'm worried that if I do this, it will just... I'm worried that this will be the Golden Order ending, really. I do have the Mending Rune of Death. Rune gestated by fear, the deathbed companion, can be used to restore the fractured Elden Ring when brandished by the Elden Lord. Formed by two Hallowbrand half-wheels combined, it will embed the principle of life within death into order. The Golden Order was created by confining death and death, thus the new order will be one of death restored. You know what? Between two options, I'm not taking Rani. So there's Mend the Elden Ring or use the Mending Rune of the Death Prince. Do I understand this correctly? It will embed the principle of life within death into order. So the principle of life within death, or the principle of life that exists within death into order. The difference between these is life within death is those who live in dead, right? Those effectively skeletal, right? Like living forever and decaying eternally, right? But that's what already happens. And the Golden Order was created by confining destined death, by confining the Rune of Death within Malekith. Malekith was feared by all of the other demigods, so the demigods existed at the same time as Malekith. Thus, the new order will be one of death restored. I think this is embracing the changing of the age. I think thus the new order will be one of death restored. I think this is fixing the Golden Order. Well, the Golden Order. This is fixing the Elden Ring to re-include death so that elements of this world continue to pass and renew others. This is almost something, like, at least read in this way, this is something that I was kind of hoping to achieve with the Lord of the Frenzied Flame, was to burn it all to ash. Because, sometimes you burn back a forest. Because otherwise, when that forest burns, it will burn forever, right? And burning back the forest creates nutrients in the soil that then create, more plentiful plant life and animal life within said nature reserves. So, obviously, you can go too far. Obviously, if you don't have a world, Lord of Frenzied Flame ending might have been a little bit too far. I think Mending Rune of the Death Prince might actually be eye ending. Yeah, how is that sitting there? The cantilever stress alone. What are you gonna... Oh, magic.
The fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished became Elden Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Our seed will look back upon us and recall the age of the Duskborn.
And that was Elden Ring, world created by Hidetaka Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin. That was an incredible time. I adored every moment of that. Through and through, even when times were tough, even when Malenia was the blade of Mikola. It was still an incredible time. I said a couple times over the course of the series that I really, really valued that that Elden Ring came out when it did, and that I managed to get into it in the way that I did, because I felt pretty disconnected from even things that I usually enjoy. And how heartening it was to actually be able to engage with and enjoy something on the same level that I remember. There'll always be an emotional component to how I value this game for that reason. But it's still really good, right? It's still incredible. I remember about a month after the game came out, I started to see, the spoiler-free takes on Twitter of people going like, I mean, okay, Elden Ring really, really good, but the last couple minutes of the last hour, the last 10 hours, like, I don't super see that. It might be what we each individually get out of the game. Like maybe if someone was looking for, continued exploration near the very end, well, it does become a little bit of a funnel at the very end, but I feel like it kind of has to do that. What I was looking for was all of the different points of the web that I could then connect into a network that told the story of this world. And I will have gotten many of those things wrong. Absolutely. There may not even be a objective, correct answer to all of the questions that I wanted to ask. But the process of asking that question and coming up with an answer for myself was so damn fulfilling. Thank you to those of you, by the way, who have been carrying along with the series and commenting your own ideas and own theories. I haven't responded to a huge amount of comments directly other than hearting and liking comments, but they have been instrumental to the way that I progressed through the game, as well as making sure that I didn't miss particularly important things. Thank you, especially Bjorn comes to mind. But also those who helped debate the ideas of this world. I'd also actually like to, just while we're in, credits and special thanks, I always like to leave all of the credits to run, by the way, just as a thing that I do on the channel. I recognize, might take a hit to retention time, but it's important to me that these are here. And also it is a nice time for a little bit of a deflate and a reflection. I'd also really like to also thank my my housemate Jeremy. For the last, this game has been out for, I think now 3 months at this point. For the last 3 months, almost every day, we have sat down together and gone through footage of any Elden Ring that I'd recorded that day, talked about our experiences, our theories about the world. I've watched him play almost 20 hours of Elden Ring. He's probably watched me play at least 50 combined. One of my secondary characters, specifically Gogo, is just the character that I would always play if I was hanging out with Jeremy. And I'll tell you, we learned a lot about the world through conversation, through bargaining and argument of, well, I remember this item that said this, and then I'll go into my inventory and open it up and go, oh, I'd forgotten about, what about this item? And the fact that I can do that, not just with, obviously, a housemate, special thanks to him, but also with so many other people I know. Almost every person I know who plays games, actively in my real life, has played Elden Ring as their first Souls game. And the way it has opened up dialogue and the way that I get to kind of almost experience it as someone's first Souls game through the stories that I get told by my friends has been another huge part of enjoying Elden Ring. I don't really like playing online in games like this. You might have noticed, obviously, we did the entire series offline for a couple of reasons, part of it being that I don't like playing online. There are other reasons, though. But one thing that you would get value of by playing online is this kind of intangible community. Instead, I get to discuss it permanently offline and build tangible community. Again, thanks to you, those of you who were following along for the entire series, who've been commenting. Much appreciated. Each and every one has been read, even if not necessarily directly responded to. Getting down here to game evaluation services and marketing, we are gotta be getting near the end of these business intelligence. Small department. I mean, gotta be for an oxymoron, right? Finance and accounting, operations down to legal and business affairs. Yeah, come on. I'm pretty sure at this point we're near the end, right? No, it's Bandai Namco's different offices in every different area, right? That makes sense. So what, we're effectively vamping for time? At this point, pretty much everything else we're recovered. Iberica? I sure hope it. Italy, Hellas, Balkan. Oh. Special thanks to Arne Stabler for the Australian New Zealand Bandai Namco entertainment. I didn't even bother trying to see if I could get a key for this game from Bandai Namco. I was just like, nope. I'm gonna go and immediately buy the game myself. I need to. I need it. Boy howdy, there's a lot of Bandai Namco in here. For the people that didn't make the game, just own publishing rights to it. Yeah, there's real work in production. Absolutely, there definitely is. But like, they outnumber the dev team by like 8-1. Wild. Begin Journey 2. If you do not start over now, you can choose to begin Journey 2 later at the Table of Lost Grace and the Round Table Hold. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Elden Ring. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist for all of my content, past and present, on this first run of Elden Ring up in the top left. YouTube recommendation down below, and streaming past and the names of people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Willow. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.